Just doing my sharing. Not gonna look at the live chat for a spell. Enjoy the little music and vibe. Crazy shit going on too. If you hear this voice, you're gonna hear my talk to text titling as I share this. Let's see. Responding to real-time information about Taiwan, Pelosi, Biden, and Monkeypox, period. And of course, as always, some personal thoughts. Period. Going live right now. Feel free to join the fray. Period. Represent your voice. It's a long title. It's one thing I'd always, Josh and I would always probably take, 30 minutes, if not longer, to come up with a title for Stuck in the Middle's episodes. I shit you not. It was bittersweet. Sorry that the music's still going. I'm still sharing, almost done. I gotta put this on the official Progressive Patriot page that I have on Facebook. In the group. Let me share this. Paste. Yep. Stuck in the Middle. By the way, I'm looking forward to Cindy. Hello, sweetheart. And I'm doing the whole sharing is caring thing. Almost done, I promise. Alright, in a group. Boom. Hey, carajo. Alright. And I think we're about to go now. Yes, indeed we are. Patty, sweetheart. I feel immediately inspired when I see specific names. Alright, let me, I am nowhere near Josh level skilled. Oh, look, I'm messing around with my logo. That's not what I want to do. Alright. Let's bring it down. If only I had timed this. Yeah, this is so professional. You're so good at this. Yeah. And boom. Hello, everybody. Gonna get right into it. Lo and behold, this. Oh, thank you, Cindy. Thank you. Sharing is the only currency that a small channel like this can get. By the way, I am not going to. Have any clout when I say proudly that I have somebody that it's no secret. I am very honored to have met through this journey in the podcasting and journalistic kind of endeavor that we've all done. Josh's invitation to be a voice on a show, a platform, was the gift I never knew I needed. And I'm looking forward to getting Stuck in the Middle back in traction. Man, it was bittersweet, nostalgic to watch him go live last night. Without me, I wasn't watching live. I was blissfully unaware. But I got to admit, I enjoyed his little final goodbye. Even got me a little emotional. And the dynamic between Kimmy and he are just hilarious. I could watch Kimmy piss him off all damn night. But welcome to Progressive Patriot. Right now, all right, I have spent, I had 2 days off. I had what I'd officially call, and I had to work out a incognito name. So out of respect for privacy and such, we're going to call the lady that I went on the date with Sailor Moon, because I like Sailor Moon and I like her. So, yeah, it went well. Nice $80 meal. Totally worth it. I don't worry about that kind of crap. And I'd love to get your advice, good people of the land. Tipping, all right? If the service is not, really that great, but you totally empathize with the working class, what do you do when it comes to tipping? Our culture, America, apparently is very unique compared to the rest of the world. I love hearing Europeans' absolute befuddlement when they learn that they have to pay more than just what they intended to spend, and that people rely on tips to work through their shift and get enough capital. It's an amazing response. I followed a thread in a forum that was going on for weeks and weeks about how much they thought that was insane, that servers get paid $2 or something and they rely on tips. But anyway, here I go, a ranting and a raving. I got a raise today, by the way, and I'm gonna pat myself on the back. I don't have the hardest job, but it's certainly not the easiest by any stretch of the imagination. It was a win I needed today. I think I've been going, I'm always, when am I not going through a little something? And some personal shit between people that I have always cared about, and one person that I just started to get the vibe. This individual wanted to keep poking me, and without clarification, I will start to connect dots that are not there, unless I'm told otherwise. And I associated that this person was probably having a grand old laugh at my expense, and that the same old people were always there when she was doing it and responding. So, yep, I got in my feels, and I booted the entire situation out. Although, upon hindsight, I'm probably going to, if they accept, bring them back into this little chat I have. I'm always doing something, running something, and keep the one toxic element out. But anyway, guys, have you perchance heard anything about, let's see, Josh has sent me one thing, and I haven't seen it, because something I've always learned to cherish doing something like this is fresh real-time reactions. So I heard about a Biden gaffe, but I don't know. Part of me wants to be like that stuck in the middle quality content, Biden gaffing. That's stuck in the middle, stuck at night stuff. And then, through a good friend of mine, Sarah, sweetheart, thank you for sending the message that you did. And it was regarding our very own, let's see who's here. What's up, my good people? Patty, Cindy, and the lurkers in the background. Depends on the state. Last I locked, Minnesota. Is that right? Okay, so I could tell you that's not the case in, I think in Florida, there are people that, servers that still get literally $2.75. Hold on, an old friend from middle school just sent me a message. You can't send me a message from Instagram, but I totally dig it. All right, anyway, so I also heard something that, so I'm real quick, the Biden thing, I'm going to reserve that. What has me kind of flipping out, or there's two things specifically, and it's in the title. Pelosi being bold as fuck, brazen as fuck. Is she throwing caution to the wind? What is the intention? I have yet to look into the information. This is what Sarah had sent to me. She had watched CanCon, our very own Brian Lupo, do an episode on Nancy Pelosi going to Taiwan, even with China, making it clear that they're enraged in the backdrop. So, asking myself a few questions. Why would this person do such a high-risk, low-reward action, international action with, just with everything that could possibly go wrong? This is completely in the land of speculation. I am not an ambassador of any kind. I don't fully comprehend the folly that could come from such a move. I just know I don't want a conflict with China. I hate mentioning Trump because people really get it twisted, because I learned to appreciate the things that he did while he was a president, even though I was groomed and indoctrinated to hate the man. I hate bringing up his name because people forget that I am literally pretty much in the middle with my, progressive ideas that are getting few and few, and whatever the case. But I'm not going to vindicate myself. I'm simply going to say Trump, for me personally, as a very much liberal at the time, opened my eyes to China being such a big threat to us economically, and in terms of militarily. I don't know. I've spoken with smarter people that have been able to maybe put my mind at ease, but I don't think I want any conflict. I think that's the consensus. I mean, I don't like China. And there's a lot of things that I take issue with, and the Chinese knockoffs that affects our economy. Something that I have been bringing up for time and time again that nobody that hates Trump so much has been able to use against me was that he had such a deal worked out with China. Sorry, that's an article that I'm going to show you guys in a second with video. Hey, hello, Linda. Hello. And Liberty Line, what's up, brother? I really got to get you on here. I listened to you call Josh last night, and I'm sorry that there were so many technical difficulties. If I was there, it would have worked out a little better. I would have been able to help. So as we are currently, all right, like I said, Trump had, this is no secret, prior to the big vid, he worked out a pretty incredible deal. There's no other terminology for it. That's what he did as a businessman, okay? And he treated our country like a business. That didn't go well, as we all know, with people that completely rely on emotional reactions. But apparently, this is verifiable truth. He had worked out that we would be able, the America, the United States of America, we were finally, after how many years, decades, we're going to be able to retain our patents. And China was not going to do any of their knockoff bullshit. That would have started to bring infrastructure, manufacturing to the country that has that grew strong from it. Those are our core roots. That's what grew our working class into a powerhouse. So this was all in writing, about to be signed on the dotted line. And then guess what? I got to be careful with wording things as I learn them chronologically, because I know that a banhammer, strike, whatever can come down on me. I wish somebody could just correct me instead of fucking giving me a strike. But as I've learned it and have been saying for I don't know how long, that's when, boom, like literally a month into or 2 weeks after the the big vid did occur, and that was off the table. It was off the table. I remember I was in the hurricane business, the hurricane shutter business. I was dealing with a lot of aluminum and pricing for metal and stuff like that. And I remember the tariffs. It was rough on our businesses, and the payoff was around the corner. Anyway, I know, and I don't give a fuck. My friends on the left are going to think this is a polished piece about Trump. I'm just talking about what I learned to be true. If it bothers you, you explain why and give me your data, okay? Anyway, let me flip the script and show you what I see briefly. I don't mean to rhyme. I'm in time with a rhyme. Okay, so Pelosi arrives in Taiwan vowing U.S. commitment. Jesus, Pelosi. Really playing with fire. Like, you don't need the attention. I've heard a lot of speculation given the research I did and the brief conversation I had with the one and only CanCon. And you talk to a man with receipts and knowledge like that, and he can really give you enough insight to where you know it's true, and because you know it's true, it becomes a little scary. Because, you know, we're not whitewashing or whatever the term is here. We're not going to mollycoddle or fluff up the truth. We just need the raw fucking truth. And that's the problem the mainstream media has these days, because they're catering to an audience that wants to just be sensitive all the time or just are too sensitive. I never thought I'd sound like the fucking angry old Republican out in the front yard like Gran Torino, Clint Eastwood, you know, frickin' kids in my yard and blah, blah, blah. But seriously, right now, I think America has a problem with our emotions. Too fucking sensitive. But anyway, I haven't seen this video, so just out of curiosity, let's see. Let's see what we're going to learn today. Capturing a progress. Okay, I guess it's just... she's just going to do the thing. She's going to go on a tax dollar funded trip to Taiwan, which I support Taiwan. I am not a China fan. I've made that clear. But, damn, at what cost, what expense, what's the main story? Like, I'm not, my tinfoil hat isn't on, but I always wonder when something grabs headlines, what else is going on around the world? And I'll only dabble into the commentary that I had shared with CanCon, because I know this is not the platform for that. You need to check out CanCon's episode that he did live today. He alluded to, I forget the name, something Earl Duke or something, and it's pretty big. Like, it's almost too dangerous to say out loud on this platform. I'm aware of that, but think of the things that preceded, and this is not me being alarmist. I'm just going with the speculation. It's still a free country, last I checked, and we're allowed to think out loud. Apparently, there's a possibility, like, China made it clear in some sort of message, a publicly announced message for all to hear. The world knows that they are looking for any escorts, American escorts, to shoot down. They didn't outright say that they are aiming for Pelosi. Okay, I'm not going to spread misinformation. But is it not? It's not a big stretch to associate any American aircraft in this time frame being one that she may be on, which would spark a war, something serious. And apparently, and I will verify the facts, but, I trust CanCon at his word, China mobilized and America mobilized. Already this has become too great of a cost. Couldn't a phone call have sufficed? I don't know. Are we flexing? So let me see. Okay, Taipei, August, blah, blah, blah. House of Representatives Speaker Nancy Pelosi arrived in Taiwan. Sorry if this is not news to you. I have been working all day, night, and or evening. Let me stop being a wuss about it. And I just heard. Okay, Taiwan late on Tuesday on a trip she said shows an unwavering American commitment. We already had that. That was already well known. Now you're just stirring the pot. Oh, and the other thing that's apparently being distracted from is some fuckery that's being discovered openly in real time in Arizona regarding primaries. And I have no further information I can commit to. Feel free to rely on CanCon for his sources, receipts. He writes for the Gateway Pundit. The man knows what he's talking about. So moving on, look into that. Always look for the story behind the story. So here we are talking about Pelosi and, all the bells and whistles that would get us involved, fear-mongering. But China condemned the highest level U.S. visit in 25 years as a threat to peace and stability in the Taiwan Strait. See, if Taiwan and China go for it, and we've already announced our commitment, you do the math, it's pretty obvious what goes down after that. Pelosi and the rest of her delegation disembarked from a U.S. Air Force transport plane on Songshan Airport to downtown Taipei. Okay, so this is just the details here. Okay, I want to see as much information as I can. I'm not in a rush, but I'd like to move on from the obvious. U.S.-Chinese relations to a new low. Oh, great, fantastic. They were greeted by Taiwan's foreign minister, Joseph Wu. Names, Representative Taiwan. Her arrival prompted a furious response from China at a time when international tensions already are elevated by Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Obviously. Seems like an optimal time to stir the pot. This does give me vibes of some of those historic WWs, as Brian explained. Just saying. China considers Taiwan part of... Yeah, we know. China wants Taiwan back, and Taiwan wants its independence. We are not the world police. The United States warned China against using the visit as a pretext for military action against Taiwan. Well done, America. But this is like, everybody knew. Like, whoever's playing the big chessboard up there, they knew what the response was going to be. So any posturing that we're doing, this was all strategized, man. Think tanks and whatever have you brought us to this point knowing the outcome, I feel. And that's only speculation. And here's a quote I'm going to read. Our congressional delegations visit to Taiwan honors America's unwavering commitment to supporting Taiwan's vibrant democracy. America's solidarity with the 23 million people of Taiwan is more important today than ever as the world faces a choice between autocracy. I'm not going to say that right. Autocracy. That's not what it is, but there you have it. You see it, auto, and then boom, and democracy. Okay. Pelosi's second in the line. Yeah, I'm not going to go over information that's obvious at this point. Well, I'd ask any of you watching this, hello, indie sweetheart. I can see you from here. Stuck in the middle. What up? Hey, I was just talking a big game about Stuck and how I enjoyed last night's little farewell. The chemistry between watching Kimmy piss off Josh, it's definitely rewatchable. So good old Pelosi. Again, I just have to ask: do any of you see something substantial? What is the transactional value to just infuriate, poke the bear, so to speak, of a country like China that we're in debt to. So there you go. Perhaps I answered my own question. If there were such a conflict, oh man, I don't want this to come to fruition. We've gone through enough. I really feel like we need to exit this year, and whatever comes of the next election needs to be a nice, refreshing, just, wash your hands of the past and move forward. That's why I want to see new blood. But I just don't want it to go where it could go. I don't have the know-how to articulate all the reasons how and why, because it's obvious to us. A conflict right now would be absolutely detrimental and terrible, I feel, on every possible degree. But America has always profiteered during times of war. We have been to war how many times within our nation's creation? I mean, it's kind of what we do. Every few years, we have some global conflict. It pays the bills. It gets the companies that are invested rich on a government level and independent, like the private sector that's involved. All the companies that we know, what is one? Halliburton? I'm not going to say them right. I don't know them off the top of my head, but it's the same people that are always going to profiteer. And I don't know that I'm willing to see my fellow man, my working class brethren and sisters, go through something like this. And with our military and everything happening right now, all-time low, Americans wanting to be in the military for reasons I understand. I have very, very strong reservations about people not wanting the jab, and also, be it what it is, okay? I hate the fucking term, but woke agenda, okay? Whatever the fuck that all entails, we have an idea, we've discussed it, okay? Trans community involved in the military, I don't think is a great strategy, okay? For a multitude of reasons that you can all find out on Stuck at Night. We went through every possible issue. What is up with the military or this administration or the government, our government, willingly announcing that they're going to fund transitions for people that go into the military? I just I get it. If you're willing to fight for the country, at least they could do that. Like, that's what I'm told if ever I bring it up as a debate. But fucking really, we couldn't spend that wiser perhaps on so many other things, especially right now. Honestly, you think that's where we should be focusing our attention? That's a big problem right now for America. And that's why I don't think I'm fucking celebrated and hoisted up as a fucking grand old lefty like I used to be. Because there's some bullshit I just have to call out for being what it is. Okay? And by the way, TikTok, if you didn't see Joe Rogan's clip, it's fucking creepy. I'm on there. I have a little fun. I don't go too crazy. But the terms of service agreement shit is spooky. You agree to allow it to see every file name you have on your phone, in your phone, and they can access it. And you agree to give your data over to be sold to the highest bidder. And it's literally there in the terms of service. It's all spelled out. But, we're Americans. We don't fucking read the fine print. Okay, let me see what else I got in the tank, in the pocket right quick. I gotta admit, I miss being in the studio already. Here we go. Okay. Viewer discretion advised. If you have sensitive, you know what? Fuck that, okay? We are Americans. We were built tough. At least that's what we were taught, and that's what I thought. But you guys heard this shit? Check this out. I hope the audio is fair enough, good quality. I can't believe my motherfucking ears, okay? State of emergency in New York. I mean, it's a blue state right now. Not entirely surprised, but I am a little. And then right now, in this very moment, I think of the speculation Josh and I had on Stuck at Night, about how the vid didn't quite stick. They tried real hard to throw in as many draconian, totalitarian laws as possible, and while some things did definitely happen, and it feels like we were all just, I gotta be careful with some of the things I say, it does have this feeling. YouTube, do not strike me down. Just kind of had this little rotten feeling like it was a grand old, I'm not saying anything was fake about it, was very real, lives were lost. I lost my Aunt Esther, rest in peace. Our son recently passed away. I don't know what he passed away from. Rest in peace, Toby. It just feels like it was a complete kind of fucking let's wing it freestyle and see how much power we can get. And they were completely able to shut down our country. Like, America got shut down. It happened in my lifetime, and I'll never forget it. Those first 2 weeks was like The Walking Dead. Incredible. And it's crazy to see. Still to this day, there are people spreading the fear. And, I have not gotten the jab. There are people still trying to force the ideology upon me. And I have to go out of my way and say, I am not fucking anti-vax, by God. Get your definitions straight. I know right now it's so hot right now to change the definitions. Just like we're in a recession, but we're not. See what we did there? Everything, up is down, left is right, black is white. It's a crazy fucking time to be alive. Twilight Zone, Outer Limits, combined, Stranger Things, blah, blah, blah. So we know monkeypox, right? And we know what apparently causes it. Even though there's, in San Diego, state of emergency, children have been, 2 specifically that I'm aware of, I don't know if the number has increased, have tested positive for something that is supposed to just pretty much impact gay adult males. So I guess the only connection that can be made is that they were maybe at the events, and I just don't know. I don't have the science on my side. I don't have the information. Let's see what is revealed, even though I trust nothing at this point, and it's a pretty dark, desolate place. And this is why these little moments where I can connect and see other channels is my breath of fresh air, because I ain't turning that fucking TV on for the news. Okay, I gave up on that 12 years ago. So, here we go. This is the clip that was played on Stuck at Night, but not this specific one. Anyway, the renaming of monkeypox. I have an issue with this.
Working with partners and experts from around the world on changing the name of monkeypox virus, its clades, and the disease it causes.
Because
we'll make announcements about the new names as soon as possible. The global outbreak of monkeypox is clearly unusual and concerning.
It's unusual, not if you follow the data, you understand it.
Decided to convene the emergency committee.
So you're convening the emergency committee and getting all of the scientific community or whatnot, everybody involved. We're mobilizing, so to speak, scientifically mobilizing. For what? World Health Organization that has so much credibility. Is it to, dare I say, stop the spread? Is it to protect lives? Is it to protect mortality? Because I understand it's pretty fucking dangerous, right? Somewhere along the lines of Ebola dangerous. So I hope that's why you would all be getting together and making such a grandiose announcement. But really, this is for
under the international health regulations.
Feelings. I fall back to the death of I'm being hyperbolic, okay? But if there ever were to be a downfall of this country and what it stands for, it's going to be in the name of not hurting somebody's fucking feelings, okay? Scientific data and facts remain facts, and they do not get altered because of somebody's feelings. I don't care if it's a community. I don't care if it's a religion. I don't care what the fucking circumstances are. The name of it is relevant because of where it originated from. So now you're going to plant the fucking seeds, and you're going to conflate all of this shit, and you're going to put this wokeism. I never used these terms woke before, but now it's just it's not everywhere. I don't feel that way, but I'm so enraged that this fucking guy, the fucking WHO, are even bothering to put their attention and financing into changing its name entirely, even though it's already ingrained in our fucking consciousness. It's not for prevention or I don't want to even say the V word, vaccination or anything, or prevention. It's for feelings. No, fuck your feelings. Tell us everything we need to know so it doesn't spread. I don't want to. I will not see a state of emergency in Florida. So, okay, let me finish this fucking thing.
Whether this outbreak represents a public health emergency of international concern.
Apparently, it's a public health emergency. So the whole thing is about, obviously, renaming it. Like, that's it. I just can't get on board with it. Because you don't want to hurt, are you worried about the backlash? I mean, you already lost your credibility. You had the whistleblower during that very specific time where the White House had to go ahead and say, we're going to go ahead and take care of the raw numbers and data. And, of course, all the right people got pretty pissed off with that. You had a whistleblower that was in charge of all the handling of the data and was giving it to a straight, and apparently she got in trouble for just that. And then the White House steps in and said, we're going to do that, and people got mad at that. We're never going to be happy with a fucking thing, but I see why. I do. I can't help it. That's just how it is. All right. Sorry. So as I continue to rant and rave, what did I want to say regarding there's something a bit more personal, but right now I feel like with everything going on, anything personal is very insignificant. I just think as a country, by God, whatever the case is, we need to see improvement. We need to see representation. It just feels so, it's like disassociating from reality. It's like, and that's what it's like to watch our representatives elected, whatever the fuck that means these days. It feels like they just are not in the same reality as working class citizens, as people that are out there during a recession, fuck whatever the media says, or whatever that crazy batshit woman said, and literally redefined it on live television, and I'm sure the definition it was maybe changed. I wouldn't be surprised if Webster's dictionary goes ahead and changes it as well. And just, everything is so fucking Orwellian right now. It's giving me a headache. I am alarmed. I am angry. And I'm sick and tired of being at this state constantly. Like, think of the American people. I wish I could just speak directly to the government here. They don't listen to us anyway. You have to have all the funding and civil rights movements, as I learned uniquely enough from a great show called We Own This City on HBO Max, which you be the judge. It's a great factual telling of Baltimore PD corruption, but you tell me if towards the end it gets a little what I suppose some would call woke. But there are some facts regarding Trump coming into power and the changes that had throughout what civil rights groups were able to do in terms of funding. And I gotta say, I was not completely aware that civil rights groups, I thought that was always kind of privatized, had any sort of funding by the government. So yeah, our tax dollars, if I don't want to say misinformation, do our tax dollars go to BLM? I mean, and we all know the facts of the organization. I mean, it's a hilarious one. They preach socialism, and they're okay with communism, and I think that's what they want to see. But they're literally totally laughing all the way to the bank under the guise of capitalism. Not under the guise, literally. Because capitalism, they're thriving in multiple mansions. Okay, the co-founder. Just call out the bullshit and fuck the feelings, man. That's it. Raw dog this shit at this point. Not too hardcore, okay? We don't want monkeypox. But I'm just saying, we got to go hard in the paint to get the truth out there. And just this whole narrative and spiel of worrying about what people's responses are going to be to the fucking truth, that it's just, I can't wrap my head around it. We should be more concerned about what the truth is instead of what the response to the truth would be. Therefore, ergo, the truth would be whitewashed, regurgitated. That's why Don Lemon or the media we have them on record. It's not news unless we tell you, and it's not true unless we tell you. Something to that effect. The woman that had that little momentary lapse, and I feel like morality. She's like, people aren't listening to us. Get with it, sister. We're not. We're elsewhere. We're here. We're everywhere, but watching you guys. And I hope the generation that grew up to trust him and still does for whatever reason must be a comfortable bubble. But that bubble's going to pop. And it's not going to be a pleasant experience after that. I think the shock to the system would be quite jarring. So, unfortunately, I don't have any funny videos, and I have a feeling I didn't get to every little topic I wanted to, and I want to fully honor just stuck in the middle and stuck at night in terms of getting to the gaffe that Joe Biden had regarding the Holocaust. If you haven't heard, I'm not going to watch it. I want to save my reaction, even though it's going to be some time. But he accidentally said, instead of, instead of in honor of the Holocaust, he said the Holocaust was an honor. And, rightly so. I hate to do this, and I hate what-ifs and whataboutisms, but they are necessary to paint a full picture. Imagine if a Republican, or say DeSantis, as Josh, I'm totally ripping Josh off right now. What if DeSantis would have had that gaffe? That is, now we're so par of the course. It's like, oh, Biden completely murdered another sentence, paragraph, inappropriate, said something absolutely inappropriate and offensive, but he didn't mean it. He's just an old fucking decrepit man with a rotting brain and a junkie son that he's literally complicit in helping that junkie son curry favor from America's enemies. When are we gonna see? I hear tale of the GOP trying to prosecute. Make me a believer, GOP. Here's your moment to shine. You want some new blood? Let me see you, because as far as I'm concerned, two-party system, one-party state. It's an illusion. It's a game. We're being played. But go ahead, get Hunter to serve some fucking time. Make me a believer, and I promise you, I'll come right over to that side and be there to stay. That's what you got to do. You got to show me that one of your own, one of your connected folks up there in that 1%, even though he's not even a public servant. Okay? We have enough dirt on this guy to build a fucking graveyard, a field of dirt. I got nothing clever in here. It's just so clear that this is a dude that's fucked up so bad, and the fact that he's still out there fucking up so bad, and we have a voicemail on record just as clear as day. And yes, it's all speculation, but we're not stupid as much as they want us to believe, of Biden covering for his son. And I know the first response I got from somebody on the left, who I do respect, was, man, what's up? You think this is the first time a white man has been busted covering up for his son? They're rich, man. Man, first off, it's not about race, respectfully, my brother, okay? It's not about race, man. This is about accountability. And to see that it's a classism thing. These are the rich, connected motherfuckers we should be allied with here. So way to completely faction and fraction any unity that could have been had. And that's what I just see time and time again. And I don't want to see that happening. It's exhausting. Being an American is exhausting. Anyway, my brother is in town, guys. I love him very much. And I'm very pleased to be able to see him. I got to see my nephew. I once did a very inappropriate, yet hilarious to me. I got some backlash from people that watched because I got him to curse my nephew. Anyway, yeah, so I'm going to have some family time. I love y'all, okay? Not in a monkeypox way, but, in my way, and, the progressive patriot sign off here, okay? Unifiers, okay? We know what they are. Embrace them and celebrate them. Find out that which you think divides us, maybe just to learn that they're not gonna faction and fraction us as easily as the powers that be want us to believe. We can still have discourse, have friendly discussion. We can break bread and have a beer and talk about things, no matter how divided everything is becoming, no matter how many different alternative platforms are for echo chambers to exist. So reaching across the aisle would become a thing of the past. That's one of my greatest fears. That's one of my predictions. I've never ever made a prediction, but I do believe it's going to be much harder to maintain fluid free speech in such a way where everybody can talk, and I see it happening on this very platform. It's a challenge to walk on eggshells, and I understand why people go elsewhere. I fully do. And I don't know what it is, being stubborn or comfortable or a threshold of hope. And that's why I'll continue to do this and be a part of Stuck at Night, Stuck in the Middle. We have grand plans. So stick with us. Until then, much love. Till the next day and the day after. Let's hope it all doesn't fall apart on our watch. Let's try to prevent that, if anything. Have a great evening, guys.